Okay, this is Leroy and Karen, and we're going to show you what Leroy has learned in his board and train with us. First thing we work on with all the dogs is that their name means to look. You want attention when you say his name.
Good boy.
Yay! And he looks up at her, makes eye contact, and he gets praised. When you work on this at home, don't repeat his name, say it one time. If he doesn't look, if he's distracted,
good boy.
good.
Good boy, Leroy.
If he didn't look, you would touch his ear, you could jiggle the leash, just do something to make him
Leroy.
look.
Yes.
But you don't want to repeat his name over and over.
Good boy.
Next we work on the walking. We say, let's go. And it's a loose leash walk at our left side. Notice the clasp of the snap of the leash is under his neck. The only time it comes up is when Karen has to give him a little correction. You can give him a correction and then immediately let it go loose again. Praise him when he's walking where you want him to be, and do a quick correction when he gets too far ahead. When we come to a stop, we have all the dogs sit next to us. This way you can cross the street, you can meet your neighbor and greet and talk and not have him jumping. We do a sit stay, which is a short stay, palm front of the face, the verbal command stay, and he'll stay, If he gets up and moves, say no or and that reminds him that he made a mistake.
Good boy.
And he's used to having toys thrown around, ball. He's had other dogs running past him while he stays, and he's just done a really good job overall.
Okay.
When you want to release Leroy and
Leroy, let's go.
you say okay, and that's his release. That means he's no longer on a command and he can get up and move around.
Good job.
Next thing we teach the puppies is the down command.
Leroy, down.
Down, we say down, we point to the ground, and Leroy lays down. Lots of praise.
There we go. Good job.
Push him over on a hip, just gently push him on a hip. And the stay is the same, flat hand in front of the face, verbal command of stay. And you want to be fairly firm with your commands. When you say stay, you want it to sound like you're really giving a command. Good job. Lots of toys flying around. Whoops, he got up. So we say, put him back where he was. Remind him to lay down. Remind him to stay. Good job. And he is going to make mistakes. He's a puppy. This is just the foundation. That's why we give you training after the fact, so that you can keep practicing with him.
Good boy.
And he'll just get better and better. He's a good puppy, and he did well in his training. Up we go. Okay, good job. Next thing, we do the come command on a 20-foot long line. We recommend that you do buy a long line or go to the hardware store and make your own. Buy some cotton clothesline or something. And use the long line to practice longer sit stays and down stays, the come command. When you do the come command, you want Leroy to be distracted like he is now. Then you say his name.
Right here, baby. Here you go.
He looks when you say his name, and you say come, and there comes Leroy. And then we finish the come command with a sit in front. So Leroy is under control, and you can attach the leash if he was out loose. Good job.
Okay.
But again, the sequence is you say his name, he looks, and then you say come. You want to separate them.
Leroy, come. Good boy.
Good
Leroy.
job. Praise
Good
the
boy.
whole way in. And you can also finish the come command with a treat. The come command is very important. We want the dogs to always come to us and be happy to come to us. But you want to be sure and say Leroy very distinctly. He turns and looks, and then you say come separately. You don't want to say Leroy come, Leroy come.
Leroy, come.
And he's a little distracted. There you go.
Good boy.
Good job. If he gets a little distracted like he did then and he kind of hesitated, you just pick the leash up. And you pick the leash up and you use the leash and encourage him to come to you.
Notice I didn't freak out yet.
Yeah, and he didn't either.
Yeah. Progress already. See you later.
Good job. And that's Leroy. And as far as the jumping goes, if you give him 99% of his attention when he's on a sit,
Good boy. Yay, Leroy.
he'll learn very quickly jumping does not get him anywhere. And we have set him up for jumping. You can see Karen trying to encourage him to jump, and he's like, no, I know not to now.
Leroy.
If he were to jump on you, all these dogs have lots of loose skin called jump handles.
All
And
right
they're
here.
right around the side of
Cheeks.
their neck and their scruff. And that's where mama dog carries and corrects puppies. And that's where we correct puppies. So if he were to jump on you, you just grab that loose skin, push him back into a sit. Your hands are already there. Pet him and praise him for the sit.
So you grab him and just go straight down. So sit. So when he does sit on his own, like when I'm trying to entice him, then he sits and I praise him for sitting.
The biggest thing with jumping
Leroy.
is don't turn your back. He'll just jump on your
Sit.
back. Don't knee him. You want to show him the
Good.
correct behavior. You want to substitute the
Stay.
sit for the jumping. So you have to show him that jumping is no good and you want him to sit instead.
Good
So you're replacing the sitting with the jumping. I'm sorry, you're replacing the jumping with the sitting. You know what I'm saying. Anyway.
You know what I mean? Good boy. Okay.
And that's Leroy. And
Leroy.
he was great with the dogs. Bring him back for daycare anytime, boarding, extra training. You can get extra training for half off. And he does have a little cough, but he's still eating and drinking. So we're going to put some information in your folder about upper respiratory infections in puppies. It's very common and it's not serious.
I haven't even really heard him cough today at all. So
Yeah.
I think he's on
Pretty
the
much
mend.
over it, yeah.
A light little case.
Yay, Leroy!
Hey, Leroy.